When I submitted my topic to Ignite, I thought I was going to be talking about my son and his two friends making fun of how often Cal State EDU uses the word diversity. I mean, really, do these three best friends, one white, one native, and one Latino, really need to hear diversity 1,032 times? Well, yes and no, because when you're 8 years old on the playground, you don't care about diversity. You care about your friends. But when you're a big institution, you really need to have a policy of diversity so we have some language to combat hatred. So, right, now let's think about diversity on the res. Okay, so if I want to be a cultural ally to my Native American friends, do I sometimes kind of look like a really bad taste cultural appropriator? In 1979, I joined a bunch of rainbow hippies, and we went up to the mountains, and we made a sweat lodge, and we prayed to every god we could think of. Yeah, so for 37 years, I still do this. So am I like non-Native American tradition? Am I stealing something if I talk about diversity in the res? Am I culturally appropriating a topic? So when Ignite chose my topic, I freaked. Totally freaked. I'm like, I can't do this. I can't talk about this. I'm white, right? So I think, okay, I got to go over to the res because I live in rural San Diego County, and there's 28 Indian reservations in our county. If you live in the rural, you live near an Indian reservation. We have more reservations in our county than any other county in the United States. So I got my tools, coffee, my phone, and I figure, got to talk to my neighbors. This is what I see right outside my front window every day. This is the Paula Sacred Mountain. Those mountains, those rocks are 40-foot high cliffs. On the other side of that mountain is the Paula Mission and the Paula Village. The mission system was a really complex mess, which both enslaved, actually put Indians in chains, and served the Native population. California is the only state that enslaved our Native Americans, and the Paula Mission Church is the only mission that still serves Natives. In 1903, the US government moved the Cupena people from their ancestral land, and a lot of the old people didn't make the trip, so a lot of the culture was lost. Rosenda Nolascus made the trip when she was 11 years old. She is legendary to this day because she had such a goodwill working with the linguists to preserve her language. Her granddaughter, Diane, is the leader of the Kupa dance group, and I asked Diane, what is a white lady supposed to say about diversity in the res? And Diane said, Paula, on Paula, speak your truth. I asked a couple of the guys in the dance group if they would do a selfie with me, but you know, of course, my selfie stick didn't work that day. So they used theirs. So this family is Bear Clan. They're really big, and they're really kind, and they're really generous. And I'm also friends with Rosenda's grandson, who came to me 14 years ago. He wanted to learn holistic healing and ended up taking a lot of courses in local plants from white instructors. I really don't think Rosenda would have been able to picture the grandeur that the Pala Casino would become. But I also think she would have had a really hard time understanding DNA testing that led to the subsequent 15% disenrollment of her tribe. For the last several years, I've produced a little play in my community, and sometimes I can't get a Native person to do the Native role. This year, a really lovely Native girl who's from San Pasqual asked if she could be in the play, but she explains to me that, you know, she's part German, and she might be too light-skinned for the role. And I'm thinking, what? Like a Native who can't play the Native part because she's too white? Wow. So, Macklemore, he's got a song that questions the role of a white hip-hop artist. So I'm wondering, is Macklemore a Wigga? Is Barack Obama an Oreo? What about tribal disenrollment? Is Christina too light-skinned? Am I tribe wannabe? I would say that if you think of yourself as a cultural ally, you're gonna need to get a lot of energy. You might have to take some very unflattering selfies with your neighbors because those 3 kids instinctively knew that diversity is a policy that big institutions need, but friends are the foundation of your community.